welcoming the chief gaming scientist of AMD, Ruchard Huddy. Ruchard, you bear gifts.
I bring gifts, absolutely.
We got a briefcase, we got graphics card. Thank you so much for coming out.
Everything one could possibly want in the world.
Please join me once again and explain right away what on earth a chief gaming scientist is.
Chief gaming scientist, apart from being a complete mystery to me and to most people, it's a communications role within AMD.
Right.
I talk to games developers, I ask them what it is that they're trying to develop, ask them why they're trying to do it, where they want to be in 2, 3, 5 years' time, maybe even further out than that. And I talk to them about the kind of stuff that we're building, why we're building the GPUs the way we're doing it. It's all a private NDA discussion, and I get shot if I talk about it in too much detail.
Except here. You're allowed to talk about it here. I
just
encourage
between
you to do it here.
and I.
OK, cool.
Yeah,
and some of our friends.
Keep it secret. There's an audience out there.
Yeah.
You're trying to trick me. I know.
That's why we have the bright lights. It's to confuse you and blind you.
And confused I am, as is usually the case. But the second role is actually a much more public communications role, where I talk about some of the cool stuff that we do, why we do it, and how to understand it in the context of an evolving industry.
Well, one of the first things I want to ask is, for a long time, it was all about increasing the number of polygons out there, but after a while, there's only so much more that can do. And given that there's so many different challenges that PC gamers want to tackle nowadays, that they want to have, how does AMD approach it?
Well, it gets you a long way. When you start with Lara Croft having 300 or 400 polygons and you get excited about that, have to say when you get to 1 million or 5 million, that's a pretty cool place to be. But there is a lot more to it than that, it's true. So just this morning, we introduced a new range of graphics cards. We were pretty pleased to be able to do that. The Radeon R7 300 and the Radeon R9 300 graphics cards. These have some pretty cool, oh, there we are. Look, we've got a graphics card or two on the screen. These have some pretty cool features, both for esports gamers, where you can really up the quality of the gaming experience on a pretty reasonable budget. The kind of 110, 140 bucks card, right up to high-end gaming where we're serious about a full-on gaming experience. And where we deliver, for example, a great smooth experience through FreeSync, where there's no tearing, no stuttering in the monitor. Everything's smooth the way it should be.
Yeah, and as someone who works in web TV, I mean, tearing's such a pain in the ass to deal with. And I mean, also VR is another huge problem that
it's a really big deal for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how do you tackle that, especially given the fact that it's not quite clear where VR fits into the ecosystem yet?
Yeah, VR's a very interesting challenge. It breaks down into two separate areas of problem, I think, that need to be addressed. Yeah. One is you need an awful lot of horsepower for a great VR experience. You can deliver a VR experience without so much, but that isn't our aspiration. Yeah, we're not into stuff. If you want a great VR experience, you want something which is, Oculus, for example, are looking for a 90th of a second as the maximum length of time between moving and getting the response back. Well, that needs a pretty powerful graphics card to do anything realistic in that time. And it also needs, the other side of it, is a really tuned software stack, a hardware pipeline that can take input super fast and deliver output really extraordinarily quickly. A 90th of a second is a very short period of time. And console gamers would never worry about a 90th of a second.
I freak out if I'm not 144 hertz, man.
Absolutely.
Real pro gamer here, man. So in terms of what's coupled with the hardware, the software, DirectX 12, you've mentioned before the show that it serves a critical role in this entire pipeline.
We are big fans of DX12. Yeah, it's a wonderful transition for the industry, and looking forward to Windows 10 coming along late July this year, I believe it is. DX12 is going to do what we at AMD have always wanted to be able to do with the hardware, and that is deliver the maximum value that we can out of a piece of hardware. It's not about always shipping a new piece of hardware because we can trick you into paying for it. Actually, what we'd really like you to do is to get the maximum value out of it, because you'll come back as a customer who knows that we've tried hard for you if we do that. DX12 really rocks when it comes to doing that. DX12 opens up every CPU core and opens up the possibilities with GPUs to really deliver a fantastic fast throughput experience, a rich experience.
Yeah, I mean, is this part of the reason why so often I'll just see 2 cores being used on some of my processes?
So the legacy APIs, everything before this has suffered from the problem. It's been really hard for us to design APIs so that the throughput of the system was not bottlenecked on 1 or 2 cores. Typically, you'd have one core shouting at the other, hey, have you got have you got rid of that stuff now? Are you ready? And the other one would be the driver saying, I'll be ready in a moment, yeah? And these two are just shouting at each other.
And
well, all the other cars...
3, 4, 5, 6 just hanging out,
they're
having drinks.
spectators. Could I have something to do? Could I maybe render something in the game? Could I do some AI? And actually, this heated conversation between two CPU cores has historically been a pretty big problem. DX12 completely solves it. Really beautiful.
Well, tell me a little bit about the goodies you've brought. I mean, I see the graphics card here. I know that there's a big metal, austere-looking case here.
I'm going to give you the suitcase. In it, well, you're not going to take a look just at the moment, if you would.
But I get to keep everything inside of it, no matter what.
You get to keep everything inside of it, no matter what. If you can negotiate that with one of your later guests, Lisa Su, our CEO, who'll be
no
chatting
problem. I'll do the negotiation on air. It'll be great.
Good luck with that. Good luck. I've tried that kind of thing myself, and it's a little tougher than it might sound. Inside the box, you will find a symbol of our commitment to the ultimate in PC gaming. I'll say no more than that.
You tease.
I tease. I do. I do tease a lot. But here with me on the sofa, out of the metal box, you see a couple of things. We've got a Nitro card here from Sapphire. This is one of the new cards that we launched today. So we have, as I said, the R7 series. Both of these cards happen to be R9, so this is more VR-oriented. This is a 4 gig card. You're talking $300-ish of hardware. And this one's a little bit more full-on. This one from Asus. This is an 8 gig card, so very much oriented at a superior 4K experience. I trust you play all your games on a 4K monitor these days, Sean.
Of course. I have 6-core, 4K monitor, 144 hertz.
You have a 6-core monitor? Sean, you rock.
I think the show's going well. Twitch is probably giving me a 6.5 out of 10 right now. So.
Who knows what they're giving you?
Well, either way, thank you so much for coming out, talking a little bit about the technology today. Ladies and gentlemen, Ruchard Huddy.
Always fun to chat with you.
And I won a case.
Sean, look after that for me, yeah?
Thank you so much.
And I'll take these away, but it's not a sign that I don't trust you, okay?
I look forward to receiving them after the show.
Absolutely. Absolutely.